Our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for just opening our eyes to enjoy your creation just another day. God, I know that we walk around as if our next day is guaranteed, and we know that's not true. So every day is a blessing. So God, we just are thankful and want to honor you tonight. My only prayer today is that these men and women are led by your guidance, that they would do good works tonight that would be pleasing to you and beneficial to our community. Lord, we love you, and it's in your Son's holy name, Jesus Christ, that I offer my prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Harden. We appreciate that. We just had a prior meeting. Before we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, before we do that, I'm going to let our other members return to our seats. That's why we had a previous meeting, and I knew that they needed to step out for a moment. So when they return, we'll return with the call to order and the pledge. But thank you, Pastor Harden. Thank you for offering our invocation and all that Journey Church does in our community. We wish our best to Pastor Randy Nation upon his retirement. His faithful service to your congregation and Jesus Christ is truly admirable, and we wish him all the best. Please send him our best wishes. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see, Madam Clerk, I think it's good to go ahead and call the roll.
Squire Taylor.
Here.
Squire Gentry.
Here.
Squire Varner.
Here.
Squire Carl. Squire Downey.
Here.
Squire Blackford. Squire Gill. Here. Squire Brown.
If you're able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please note Squire Brown's here. Sorry, Squire Brown, we were moving forward. Does anybody have any public comment? Anybody wishing to address the court? Seeing none, we have the approval of the minutes of July 8th. Are there any additions, corrections to those minutes? Any questions? Are there any objections to approving same? Seeing no objections, I'll approve the regular meeting of July 8th minutes without objection. Committee reports. The Fiscal Court met in a special meeting prior to this meeting to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61-810, 1 subsection B regarding potential property acquisition. We returned from executive session with no action being taken thereon. One of the items of discussion was not covered, so we will likely return to an executive session at the end of this meeting out of the thoughtfulness for those that have joined us. That is the sum of our committee reports. We have the treasurer's report as of 7/13/25 before you, and our treasurer is out visiting her son in the Air Force in Texas, so we wish Melody well. I'd like to begin with additional reports starting with Emergency Management Director Drew Chandler. And Director Chandler, I've worked with the court clerk on an RFQ draft process for the Emergency Management Warehouse project. I know we're trying to get an idea of what that looks like. So I assume you'll be asking for a motion to advertise and begin the RFQ process for the proposed warehouse EM building at the county park.
And Judge, just full transparency, construction is not something that I have a lot of familiarity with. So if there's any questions, I might have to pull in my counterpart Rick Wade to help answer those. But yes, the fiscal court was very generous to budget for a storage facility that benefits emergency management and other agencies, both directly and indirectly. And we'd like to get that process started.
Is there a motion to advertise and begin the RFQ process for the proposed warehouse EM building at the Woodford County Park?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Squire Gentry, second by Squire Taylor. I'd open up the floor for any questions or discussion thereon. Again, we are not bound by that process. We do not have to complete that process, but this is going to give us a good idea of what it would take and what we are looking at. Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. The state mutual aid agreement?
Judge, the prior courts had previously approved a statewide mutual aid agreement. This is the latest version of this document. There's been a multiple year hiatus of the existence of such an agreement that outlines at a high level county to county, city to city, county to city mutual aid agreements. And it just sets some basic ground rules for how Woodford County can help our neighbors both in and outside Woodford County, or the ground rules and expectations if another community is coming to help us, much like Moorhead and Campbellsville did back during the April flood. Up to this point, it's really just been a handshake agreement, if you will. They come and there's no expectation of reimbursement, but this sets some general parameters that if we help somebody, they would do what they can to reimburse us for our time and efforts, and other parameters. So if there's any questions about specific sections, I've got it pulled up on my phone. I can address those individually.
And I would entertain a motion to approve the statewide emergency management mutual aid assistance agreement contingent upon the final approval of the county attorney and judge executive as recommended by the emergency management director.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gill, second by Squire Downey. Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries.
Judge, there's a ceremonial signing in Frankfurt of this mutual aid agreement next week. If anybody's interested, I can get you the details.
Thank you. And Director Chandler, I want to take a moment in your reports to talk about the Emergency Watershed Protection Program, Recovery Buyout Program. We've circulated that information to the magistrates. We met with the Soil Conservation District and the state director of that, I believe. And we anticipate that at any point in time, we will get a contract. Do you have any news or updates on that potential contract?
Judge, I called Mr. Stevens from the NRCS earlier today. He's not gotten back to me, nor did he reply to an email inquiry yesterday. To rewind a little bit, we had our first meeting, actually, NRCS was in Woodford County on April 22nd, just barely after the waters had receded after the flood and the cleanup had started. And there was a period of several weeks that went by until our first actual sit-down meeting where they brought the Emergency Watershed Protection Buyout Program as an option to us to ask if we wanted to pursue. So that was on June the 4th. On June the 9th, we submitted 32 properties that had expressed interest to us through our website form, people requesting more information. We were able to work with our PVA, John Paul Coyle, to get the property cards in that list of the 32 initial properties. We've had a total of 44 properties submitted in the online form. Removing duplicates, there are 29 qualified, so our initial list to USDA was even more than the people who had officially notified us of their interest. And 3 of those 29 are not interested in buyout. They're interested in help with elevation, which would not qualify for this program. So we were pretty quick to turn that around once they actually presented this program to us and gave us the high level nuts and bolts of it. There's still some questions. What's in the terms and conditions? It is a federal grant to the county, so we still have to go through the motions of letting you see all that and accept it and vote in the affirmative to allow the judge to sign into that agreement. There's a 25% cost share that needs to be factored into things, and we'll have to establish some priorities because buying that many properties simultaneously would be quite a challenge with the resources that we have. Or we have the option to outsource some of it too, because there's 6% management costs in addition to the grant. And the grant is the acquisition, it's the demolition, any site remediation, removal of utilities like septic tanks, and making it a nice property with a permanent conservation easement.
And so, Director Chandler, this is what I would advise the court and request potential action. So this is our annual point in time where we have a 3-week period in between our court meetings. Again, I don't anticipate we're going to call a special meeting for any reason. But that contract, we have some knowledge that it could come at any point in time.
USDA, and this was written down, so they talked via email that we could see the contract this week.
And so what I would ask is that once we receive the contract, that it would be circulated to the full fiscal court, that you all give tentative approval upon the final review of the county attorney and myself to approve that contract. We'll go an extra step, and when that contract is received, we'll make sure that the Sun sees it, and we'll post it on our website. Madam Clerk, you can make a note to do that. And then that should be more than satisfactory to be able to take a contingent vote this evening on approval of same, pending the county attorney and my final review. But that would make sure that this buyout that people are calling us literally every day on can get going. Time is of the essence. I am concerned that the federal government has not approved a public assistance declaration for Woodford County. We stand to be out significant amounts of funds. It's limiting us on what we can currently do in our flood recovery response because there is no timeline, there is no indication that we're going to be approved for public assistance. Public assistance means we can get reimbursed for the things that we have done, and it also opens up other programs for our residents. Being the case and buyouts being top of mind, and I think we have we've expressed the desire to work on these buyouts, I would ask that we have a contingent motion to approve the contract upon the final approval of the county attorney and judge executive to enter into the agreement for the Emergency Watershed Protection Program recovery buyouts.
Judge, if I may elaborate a little bit.
Well, let me entertain that motion and let me get it on the table. Motion by Squire Blackford, second by Squire Gill. We have a motion and a second. Director Chandler.
Thank you, Judge. I'm sorry for jumping the line. The contract does not obligate us to buy any properties. It is the contract that allows us to buy properties. The acquisition process is completely voluntary. The USDA, I'm sure in the terms and conditions, will have some things that we need to do, such as explain to them how we establish our fair market value, and I think that's well documented in statute and administrative regulation. So the plan would be, once all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and we have the countersigned copy back, fully executed and filed, we will bring all the property owners together and have an information session, present them with the information with a buyout option, and if they are voluntarily willing to proceed, we will form a nice line and collect the information that we need to move forward from that point. And if they don't have the information they need, they'll have our contact information to come back when they're comfortable moving forward, or maybe they're not interested in the program once they hear the finer details.
That being the case, the main urgency is to make sure that we're first in line and keeping this process moving. Each time the ball metaphorically enters our court, we like to put it back in the state or the federal government's court. And so that's the reason for the nature of this motion.
And Judge, to my knowledge, nobody has received their agreement yet from USDA. Franklin County had a town hall last week. They are pursuing the same program that we are. The city of Frankfort, as my understanding, is not. So there's a lot of murkiness, to use a flood pun, around the program in general, and I think that's because none of us at my level or your level, Judge Mueller is another example, have seen the final terms and conditions of the USDA contract.
Yes. So I'd open up the floor for questions, comments. Anything? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Mr. Director, anything additional?
Judge, I'd like to apologize to Squire Gentry. One of his constituents has been trying to get a hold of me repeatedly, but they got my personal cell phone number from our shared insurance agent, and I get so many junk calls, I never listen to the voicemail. So if Ms. Watts is listening, she'll get a call back from us tomorrow.
Thank you, Director Chandler. And we'll have you stay around for our discussion in executive session. Thank you. Thank you. We have our county clerk with us. Madam Clerk, Sandy Jones, we have your quarterly report. And you have anything additional to report to the court? You have some special guests with you tonight?
I do. This is my grandson and his friends that decided they would stop and see what this report is.
Well, welcome. I'm sure this has been exhilarating. I'm sure you'll all three be going into local government very soon, right? No, thank you all for being here. We welcome having you and appreciate you coming to spend some time with us. We do need to accept the county clerk's quarterly report for the quarter ending June 30, 25. Is there a motion for same? A motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Gill. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Then that motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Sherry McDaniel, Director of Solid Waste and Recycling.
Yes, our contract for the convenience center, we are on a 3-year contract with a 2-year option, and it is time to accept that 2-year option, and it is the best deal, and I'm requesting that we do accept that 2-year option.
Does anybody have any questions for the director regarding that option that's before us? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the contract renewal with Rumpke for the open top and closed top containers and compactors at Solid Waste and Recycling Center as recommended by the Solid Waste Director and upon the final approval of the County Attorney and Judge Executive? Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Brown. I'd open up the floor for any questions. Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have our Maintenance Director, Mr. Rick Weed. And Rick, if I could, I'll go ahead and share that we're going to request advertisement and begin the bid process for the LED lights, scoreboard, and sound system at Community Stadium. It was in your budget, just as we did with the EM building. We're going to try to get this project going so that we understand what it's going to take. So is there a motion to begin that advertisement and bid process? Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Taylor. Does anybody have any questions for Director Wade on that front? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. And Director Wade is also seeking quotes for the sound system at the courthouse. Squire Downey, that's something the Maintenance and Facilities Committee recommended. Would you like to make that motion to authorize the maintenance supervisor to seek quotes? Second by Squire Gentry. Are there any questions on that? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. Mr. Director, anything additional? You want to give a brief update on our theater project?
Yes, sir. Theater project, we've discovered we had some termite damage. We've had to treat the facility, the theater proper. We're also had to tear out a portion of The wooden floor that they had installed, an apron around the front, that's going to be poured in concrete tomorrow. But we're well under budget by doing this in-house. So the wood package came in at around 11,000. You'll be seeing that on the bill list. We had some sound dampening that we've had to purchase and expedite out so that we can meet the theater schedule, but we should come under the 70,000 pretty good. So
Yes, Squire Brown.
Did y'all strike for termites after?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was about $3,860 for that. So, and that was about a 4-day treatment process that they completed. So
Will they come,
inside and out.
will they come back and check it?
We have the opportunity. They'll mail us probably in May to come back, and it's I think $380 for that.
Probably
So
won't check it for a while.
yes.
Thank you, Squire Brown. Other questions or comments? Anything additional from maintenance, Director Wade?
No, sir. I don't have anything unless you jog my memory.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I don't have anything else for you. In fact, I'd ask you to be excused.
Thank you.
Yeah. If we need a motion and vote you out of here, we will, Rick. Director Wade has been working extremely hard, as is the maintenance department, on all their projects this summer, and I'd say they're overworked, so we really appreciate all they're doing. We have some road items to take up. Madam Clerk, do you just want to explain the Old Clifton paving bid response we got?
We received one bid. That bid opening was yesterday. We received one bid, and I emailed that to you all yesterday, and road supervisor was pleased with that bid and would like to accept that bid.
And that is in the amount of $23,964 for FD 39 funds for Old Clifton Road, which desperately needs it due to the flood. And we need to accept that bid. Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Brown. Open up the floor for any questions thereon. Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. The road supervisor has requested that we entertain a motion to advertise and begin the bid process for paving a 4-acre road using our flex funds. Is there a motion thereon? Motion by Squire Gentry. Second by Squire Brown. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. There's also a request from the road supervisor to advertise and begin the bid process for paving on Hiffner Road, Oregon Road, Buck Run Road, Germany Road, and Watts Ferry Road. Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Downey. Are there any questions on the request to advertise bid for those roads aforementioned? Seeing no questions, all
I
those.
just have a question.
Yes, ma'am, you're recognized.
Thank you. Is all this because of the flooding? Most of this?
So I believe that, for example, Oregon, Watts Ferry, and Buck Run probably were brought into the equation because of the floods. Yes, ma'am.
4-acre was as well.
Yes, yes. And I will say that 4-acre road, we initially had some logistics discussions about running the water line, if it could be done as part of the road project prior to, or not having to, but ultimately, the condition is such, particularly from the flood, that we need to move forward, and we do not believe we'll run that water line down there. That's not a final decision, but we don't think, even if we do, that we would use that roadway. Sorry, Squire Blackford, you recognize.
This Town Road, have this.
There is not a motion to advertise bid for Huntertown Road, but we can talk to the road supervisor about that.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Other questions, comments? I did allow the road supervisor to not be here for this meeting. I excused him after a lot of work. I will just share as part of the discussion of this motion, the road department has been working extremely hard, as is maintenance. The flood has set us back significantly in our daily work in both of those departments. We also have some personnel needs specifically in the road department. We had a retirement recently, and just this week, and we also, one of our road departments employees was injured in an ATV accident, seriously injured. And I would request your all's thoughts and prayers for him and his family. In addition to our other open positions, that leaves us about 4 positions open in the middle of a summer where everything's growing like crazy and we're 2 months behind from the flood. So I told the road supervisor he could be excused from this meeting, but I will make sure that we get him in contact with other questions we have about road projects. Yes, sir, Squire Brown.
Can I ask Larry what part of Hunter County you talking about?
Yes, Squire Blackford, will you yield?
Tracy was talking about black topping and painting the, walk down Huntertown Road, I think from Wood to, I don't know how far out, but that's what she said, she gonna put in the bid for us, what she said in the meeting, talking about, for a good little time, because it needs painting, paving, and painting.
Yes, sir.
Here's why I asked that, across Bluegrass Parkway, the bridge, they're gonna have to redo that. Where they put in the curb and stuff.
The high friction surface.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, I don't know how far she can extend the pavement, I don't know, she just said she's gonna do it there.
So I thought that's what you might be asking.
That's a part of it.
Okay,
I'll get some additional information from the road supervisor and road department for everyone. That being, yes, Squire Varner, you recognize?
While we're on that subject of roads, Lyles, have we got a report from that robotics? We haven't got a report from it since we voted for it.
Yeah, we can get you a login on it. You can look at it as well on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as much as a report as it's a documentation of road conditions. So it
Sure, that's what I mean, to report on the shape of our roads. Yeah, conditions.
all right. Other questions, comments? Seeing none. There is a motion on the table, and I'll remind everyone that's to advertise and begin the bid process for the roads that I mentioned. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. Madam Clerk, anything additional from the road department? Then we move on to our claims. The bills to be paid by the county are before you. Are there any questions or comments on any of the bills to be paid? Seeing none, are there any objections to same? Also seeing none, I'll approve the bills to be paid without objection. Could I entertain a motion to approve the personnel order as presented, please?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Taylor. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. I need a similar motion to approve the transfers.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gale, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion also carries unanimously. We recommended at the unanimous vote of the fiscal court for the county attorney to draft ordinance 2025-09 relating to a zoning map amendment, general development plan, Sea Island Soil Company LLC 197 Browns Mill Road R1B, to A1 district, being that is in Squire Lyles Taylor district. Squire Taylor, would you recommend a motion to have the first reading of same?
Yes, motion.
There's a motion.
Second.
And a second by Squire Varner. I'd open the floor for any questions or discussion thereon. Seeing none. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Yes, Judge, this would be a summary first reading of that ordinance relating to a zoning map amendment, general development plan, Sea Island Soil Company LLC, 197 Browns Mill Road, R1B to A1 district. The commission having recommended that zoning map amendment be approved. 1.19 acres from single-family residential to agricultural based on findings that the amendment is compliance with the comprehensive plan. This court, by your vote tonight, voting to accept that recommendation and approve the requested zone change, so be it ordained that that subject property containing the 1.19 acres is rezoned from R1B to A1. The zoning map is to be amended to reflect the change upon plat approval by the commission. This being a first reading, it does need to be advertised for a second reading, and with the 3-week gap in between meetings, we can have the second reading on August 12th.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
We also need to have the proposed first reading of budget amendment number 1, ordinance 2025-08, realizing unbudgeted receipts in the amount of $3,497,522.47, which represents the carryover from fiscal year 24 to 25. Is there a motion to have the first reading of budget amendment number 1? Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Gill. Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
Yes, Judge, this would also be a summary reading of this ordinance, this budget amendment ordinance relating to your current fiscal year 25-26, addressing your general road, state grants, federal grants, opioid abatement settlement fund, sheriff's asset forfeiture, county clerk permanent storage fees in the American Rescue Plan, revenues, and in a like amount, total amended appropriations amount is $3,497,552.47. This being a first reading, we do need to amend or also have this second reading on April 12th. I'm sorry.
August
12th. August 12th.
Took me back to the floods, Mr. County Attorney. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
What we'll do is we're going to move through announcements. Madam Clerk, do we make sure to attend to all of the business on the agenda? Then we're going to move through announcements, and then we will go into executive session for a potential property acquisition so that we don't keep anybody here longer than we need to. Magistrates, if you don't mind, Squire Downey, may I call on you first, sir?
Nothing for me, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Squire Taylor.
Yes. Just wanted to give a brief update on the broadband project.
Yes, please.
Mr. Brown with All Points Broadband is going to be joining us hopefully at our next meeting to give a much more lengthy update, but wanted to let you all know that they have completed their environmental review and submitted that to the Office of Broadband Development for the state. And they're working on the pole, the design portion and the pole make ready portion as well, which if you may have heard me mention in the past, the pole make ready portion is a really interesting, lengthier than you would imagine process of working with other utility providers to utilize their poles. So that's a cumbersome process, and they're working on that. But he's going to give us in 3 weeks a much more lengthy update. But wanted to let you all know that we have progress moving forward.
Thank you, Squire Taylor. Squire Gentry.
Nothing, thank you.
Squire Varner, sir.
Nothing, Judge.
Mr. County Attorney.
No, but thank you, Judge.
Woodford Son.
No, but thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I want to just say that today I went to the ribbon cutting of the Bluegrass Community and Technical College, opened up the classrooms for GED and English as a second language workforce development programs at the KCTCS system office. So if you all are aware, we did not have adult education in Woodford County for some time, and it returns. I want to thank Dr. Ryan Quarles for his efforts in seeing the value of opening that space, which is an amazing space. I would venture to say it's probably one of the nicest adult ed locations in central Kentucky, and it's back in Woodford County, and it's a big deal for workforce development and those that want to pursue their GED, learn English, and take other workforce training objectives. So it was a big deal for Woodford County, and as an education county, I'm really glad to see that it's back in the community. That being the total sum of the business to come before us on the agenda, I will return to committee reports, and I would entertain a motion to enter executive session pursuant to 61-810-1B for potential property acquisition. And I can say, out of a matter of transparency, that this is to discuss flood properties. So we're going to, if there is a motion to entertain motion by Squire Gentry.
Second.
Second by Squire Brown. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And we are in executive. I would entertain the renewal of the motion by Squire Darrell Varner to return to open session without any action reported from the executive session. And a second? Second by Squire Brown. Thank you. And all those in favor of returning to open session as renewed in the motion from closed session, please vote and signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. And we return to open session in order to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Yeah.